doing?
Cool, Mom.
See a resemblance?
What the?
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
From onstage blunders to weird misfires on social media, join me as I reveal to you 9 embarrassing moments from Billie Eilish. 9. Forgetting the words. So, let's talk brass tacks. When it comes to being a singer, there are a few things you're expected to do no matter what, right? Such as, performing concerts, which Billie Eilish does, and arguably does much more personally than any other singer alive, depending on who you talk to. But in doing concerts, there are a few things you need to remember. First and foremost, you need to remember how the stage is, that way you don't hurt yourself as you continue. Second, you need to remember your dance routines and how they're going to be done with your backup crew. Finally, and arguably the most important, you need to remember the songs. Like the ones you wrote and sang and did music videos for and such. Yeah, it would be nice if you know the words. But at Coachella 2019, Billie Eilish was doing her track All the Good Girls Go to Hell off her new album When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? And during the performance, she very clearly forgot the words to the song. This can be viewed and heard when she's doing a line, then flubs the next one and honestly asks the crowd what the words were before getting back on track.
What the f are the words though?
To be fair, this was one of her newer songs, and so it would be okay to think that this was one that hadn't stuck in her head just yet like some of her other longer used songs. But still, you really should know the songs that you're singing before you go on stage. Just saying, Billie. 8. The stage strikes. Remember what I said earlier about knowing the layout of the stage so that you don't get hurt? That was just a suggestion, as many artists across genres of music have had all kinds of gaffes and goofs on stage because they weren't careful and didn't remember the layout right, or weren't paying attention as they did their thing. For Billie Eilish, this occurred when she did a tour over in Denmark. She was singing one of her songs, in this case, Bury a Friend, and when she was running across the stage, she slipped and fell square on her back. She was prone for a few seconds, making many, including her crew, wonder if she was okay. But then as they came over and tried to help her, she rolled over on her stomach and continued to sing the song. Then, after laughing at her own misfortune, she actually continued to roll on stage. Like she planned it this way the whole time. She didn't, though, for the record, and in an interview, she noted that she actually slipped on a cord, and her fall really did hurt her. After the concert, she found herself with a massive bruise on her back. 7. Duet Done By One.
Your talk is cheap, you're not a man.
Heading back to Coachella 2019 for a bit, Billie Eilish didn't just do one song for her performance there. Rather, she found herself singing with others who were there too, such as when she grabbed her friend and frequent collaborator Vince Staples and got him to do a duet with her in the form of And Burn. All of this seems perfectly fine, right? Except, as they were singing, Vince Staples' mic wasn't working at all. So much so that while everyone could hear Billie's voice fine, no one could hear Staples through the entire song. Now, yeah, this isn't something that could be put on Billie, but when you're singing a duet and you can only hear one voice and it's not getting fixed, that's not exactly something you want to be proud of, If there's any comfort to be had in this embarrassing moment, it's that the sound errors of the venue weren't just happening to them. At one point, Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj were doing a duet when their inner ear mics, which blocks out sounds so they can focus on the songs, went out, and thus they were botching their duet song all over the place. Maybe the lesson here is don't sing at Coachella. I'm just saying. 6. Interactions with fans.
I signed the cup. I put like a bunch of napkins that are all signed. Hand them out. Don't be mean.
This one is a bit tricky in the embarrassing department because it really does depend on how you view both Billie Eilish and musicians in regards to how they handle their fans. Because anyone who knows her and her backstory knows that she loves her fans and will always treat them with respect because of all they're doing for her, which is to be praised. Yet at her concerts, she doesn't mistreat them, but she does get them riled up. Like how she'll get a crowd jamming to a softer song like Ocean Eyes and then all of a sudden crank it up and everyone is dancing crazily. During one of her songs, mosh pits literally form out of nowhere. It's a weird thing to see for sure, and it shows just how good Billie Eilish is at getting the crowd to do what she wants. During one performance, though, she noticed that the front members of the crowd were seriously tired and were likely to pass out. So she went and gave them some water. But when she did, she tossed the bottles to them and actually hit them in the head. Whoops. Hey, it's the thought that counts, right? 5. Stories in the car with mom. Here's a definitive Billie Eilish tale that's actually told from the perspective of Billie Eilish. You see, when it comes to her being on social media, she's never afraid to get too personal or tell stories that are embarrassing. That's how much she trusts her fans and those who follow her. So one day she's driving and it's on her phone, which is illegal, Billie, you should know better, and is telling the story of this one time she went to the doctor. Nothing wrong with that, right? Doctor visits are necessary for a good and healthy life. Anyway, Billie is at the appointment and the doctor notes that he needs a urine sample.
She gives me a cup. She says, pee this much in the cup. I was like, okay.
Again, standard stuff. So Billie's in the bathroom trying to get the sample and, well, let's just say she misses. Billie goes on a rant about this, and in the car with her at the time is her mother. Her mother is laughing during the whole story, but then adds onto the embarrassment by correcting Billie on her grammar. No kidding. She said a line like, without no clothes.
Without no clothes on.
And her mother pointed out that this was a double negative, which it is, but that's not what you want to hear your mom talking about when you're doing a story. 4. Fashion choices. This is another tricky one because when you think about Billie Eilish, you acknowledge that she doesn't play by the same fashion rules as someone like Beyoncé or Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga or Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Those ladies look to shine when they're on stage with every single outfit that they put on. But for Billie Eilish, she's more like a regular person on stage, meaning that she'll wear what she wants, when she wants, as long as it's comfortable. If you look at her closets, you'll see that she really does have a very basic allotment of clothes, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have some curious choices. If you look on her Instagram page, you'll see things like a fully neon green outfit that she wore once, complete with neon green ski mask. I mean, that's a bold choice, but was it really the one you needed to take a picture of? And that's just scratching the surface of all the unique and colorful choices of outfits that Billie Eilish has done over the years. Again, it's not that it's bad, she's honestly being true to herself, but that doesn't mean that we can't go wide-eyed at what she wears sometimes. I mean, seriously, look at that neon green outfit again. It's so green. 3. Music history absences. If you look at a lot of the younger generation, they'll sometimes wear things and say things that reference history in certain parts, but have no idea what they're referencing. And sadly, Billie Eilish had this happen to her many, many times. Like when she was asked about what was the first CD she bought, only to scoff at the question and say she's never bought a CD before. Okay. Or how about when she noted that one of the most favorite shirts that she ever wore was a Nirvana shirt, but she didn't know who the band was? I mean, come on, it's Nirvana. But then very recently, she was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Kimmel decided to show just how much of an age difference there was between him and her. And during that point, she noted that she had no idea who Van Halen was.
Can you name a Van Halen?
Who?
Which got a lot of musical people angry, though she wasn't too pleased either at the questions. "You're making me look so dumb," she noted. To that, Kimmel responded, "It's not a matter of being dumb. If you asked me questions about 1943, I probably wouldn't know the answers either." It got even bigger though when the internet exploded about the situation and Billie got more and more angry with what happened that during an awards ceremony for her, she threw shade at Kimmel. Not exactly a nice look to have there, Billie. Just saying. 2. The Puffer Jacket Challenge. Going back to her ensemble, Billie Eilish is renowned for her very casual attire, but what many fans note is that she's one who prefers to wear very baggy clothing. This is not just a style choice, but a personal one, because unlike many other female singers who try and show off every inch of their curves, Billie doesn't. She wears the baggy clothing so that you honestly can't know what's underneath. Though that did lead her to the Puffer Jacket Challenge, where a person who was a fan of Billie's asked her to try on as many puffer jackets as possible to see how many she could wear. Oh yeah, she did the challenge. And not only did she do it, she did it for all of her followers to see, and she was able to get 5 of those puffy jackets on her before breaking down in laughter at the situation she had gotten herself into. I guess you could say this was the nice kind of embarrassment. Number 1, the Lizzie McQuire package. Okay, let's be perfectly honest here. In the 90s, one of the most important sitcoms for kids was on Disney Channel in the form of Lizzie McGuire. The series had a great hook of seeing in her head, and the family stuff was great. It was the birthplace of the career of Hilary Duff, and everyone loved it. except Billie Eilish, who had no idea who or what a Lizzie McQuire was. During an interview with Nadwar, who we could write another list about, he gave her a Lizzie McQuire package that any fan would have loved. But Billie had no idea what the show was. And then when he mentioned Hilary Duff, Billie replied, "Who is Hilary Duff? That is the question." No, that's not the question, Billie. The question is how you don't know about an all-time classic show. So what do you think? What do you think of these embarrassing moments featuring Billie Eilish? Can you believe that the young singer has already had so many embarrassing moments in her musical life so far? Which of these do you feel was the most embarrassing of the lot? Do you know another Billie Eilish moment that should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.